Next one. Oh, okay. The success of an anime is dependent on animation quality.
Okay.
Fuck. This is kind of hard, actually. Gotta think about this one.
You know what? I actually might change my answer here. This is such a... Animation quality is such a dirty word.
It is. It's
What
very...
is that? What is that? That's untruthful.
It's very floaty, isn't it?
Okay.
Could mean a number of things.
I have my answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Agree.
Neutral.
Stonk agree.
Stonk agree.
Stonk agree. Okay.
All right.
Originally, I had disagree, but then I thought about it a bit more, and I thought, no, I think it actually is very, very important and crucial.
I think nowadays especially.
I have 3 words.
Yeah.
Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Like...
I have 2 words. Jujutsu Kaisen.
I guess success is such a... Okay, there's so many words in here that can be really openly interpreted.
Yeah.
What does success mean?
Success means...
Commercial.
Commercial success.
Critical?
I'm talking about commercial
I say
success.
everything. I say everything.
Yeah. I mean, here's
the
the thing, right? Is the pattern I see is that there can be successful shows that don't depend on animation quality, right? But those more and more seem like the outlier. You know, it's like
totally.
the selling point is that, yo, this show slaps and it doesn't even need good animation, you know? But like the thing is, especially when it comes to the general audience, we like pretty things, all right? Same thing with the video game industry, okay? We like good graphics or something that looks good. If there is like an indie game that has, that has graphics that are not as polished, it can still have really, really good gameplay, but the gameplay better be fucking amazing for it to blow up, Same thing with anime. If it doesn't have good animation, that means the story quality has to be fucking amazing. And yet, we have seen a lot of anime. I'm not going to name any names. You can pick out probably a list from your own where the story, the characters might not be top tier, but everyone still has a lot of popularity for the animation.
Yeah,
quality.
just check the past maybe 3 or 4 anime awards.
I mean,
entries and
the fact that Demon Slayer is a popular
I was about
anime.
to say. Thank you for saying it.
I also think that the one anime that made me actually change my answer, and I think this is like a textbook. I mean, because the studio changed between seasons. One Punch Man,
yeah.
And
I agree.
One Punch Man season 2. I mean, I'm sure it was financially successful, but culturally it was not successful at all. No one cared about the second season.
Yeah, it's
purely
funny
because the animation went off. There's nothing else changed in the show.
Exactly.
The writing's the same, the actors the same. We literally have a textbook example of the only thing changing is the animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, One Punch Man is a great example because it's like, you hear from a lot of manga readers that after the point of season 1, the story of season 2 just keeps building and building.
It's a better story.
It's a better story than season 1, right? And yet, when season 2 of the anime came out, no one was fucking talking about it.
Yeah.
Nobody, because they were just like, oh yeah, I heard the story's good, but it's just not the same without that previous studio. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, it's not though. It's. I did you guys finish season 2?
Yeah.
It was alright. It was alright.
I mean, I think they were they were also at an awkward point in season 2 with the fights. I don't think there was any giant amazing ones, but they definitely. I think.
So are you excited about season 3 then?
I am pumped about season 3, but it's JC staff there again.
It's still JC stuff. Yeah.
But I am pumped because Gaoru...
Again, prefer the proof at this point, isn't it?
But Gaoru, I just love as a character so much that I'm willing to watch it. But I think that there's just so much examples of animation quality, unfortunately, being the thing that not even the determiner, but at least a tell for what show is going to do well.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm watching the 40 odd shows every season, animation quality plays a big part about whether I'm going to watch this past episode 1, because I'm sure I've missed some hidden gems where it doesn't completely pop off in episode 1. But sometimes you can get a feel for sometimes to me, I get a feel for what the creators put all of their resources into. Because when you have like 30 shows that look the same and 10 shows where you have that extra little bit of polish, it really does stand out.
Yeah.
I also thought about, people might use the example. I was trying to think of shows that had bad animation that were very popular. And I couldn't really think of any shows that were actually terrible animation and popular. But I could think of animation styles like, say, the Husband Yakuza show. Well, that was basically a slideshow.
Yeah. That wasn't, I wouldn't say that's popular.
Yeah.
Right, but I felt like that show was quite successful given it was quite a small show.
I think the only reason is because it was banking off the hype of the manga.
Yeah, and I felt that like almost at that point, I don't think that was like a... I mean, it was barely animation. I feel like the quality there, I mean, at least I feel like it felt almost intentional. Like they were like, hey, we have this, we're going to make the show like this. We're going to make the style like this good. I don't think the quality of that style was bad. Was it great animation? You can be the judge of that, but I don't think it was bad animation.
Yeah, I mean, some shows I feel like they don't necessarily need good animation. Off the top of my head, I can think of something like Odd Taxi, which it's not exactly the animation wasn't bad. Amazing. It wasn't bad, but it did everything that it needed to do, and pretty much just that. And to counteract that, you have something like Frieren, which I don't think needs good animation, but for some reason it just completely pops off. When even though the core of the story has nothing to do with needing good animations to really sell you on this story and this world. So
I feel like I can... do you ever think there's this weird phenomenon now with shows that get really hyped? The animation gets better as the show gets more hype.
What do you mean?
Like Frieren is so popular. And in my head, I'm like, I wonder if the animators go harder because they know how popular the show is. Because it's different.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because it's different, right? Like back then, the show was normally animated, and maybe it's airing on TV, but normally a good chunk of it's animated before it was ever seen. Now it's like it's week by week.
Well,
so
I mean,
if you're about to be seen by like a fuck ton of people, and you're an anime, you're like, all right,
I mean, just look at like the recent like massive rising of like the One Piece anime, for instance. Like that animation quality just keeps getting better and better and better. And sure, like I'm sure a lot of that hype is also due to the fact that the actual story itself is also just getting more and more great. But the better animation quality and just the more like insane, like, yo, what the fuck is this type of like animation is most certainly helping it to build up the hype. Because if Gear 5 reveal was at the same quality of animation as like, say, like the Gear 2 reveal back in the day, I don't think people would be talking about it as much.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think One Piece
just has that power.
Yeah, One Piece might have that power, sure, but I think for a lot of those shows, I think it's just the fact that the animation quality of just big shows like that in general is getting better, is helping the hype.
I guess to that perspective, One Piece was assumedly successful without having good animation quality for a good period.
Yeah, I would say.
But I would say that
good is
it was acceptable back in the day.
It's definitely. I mean, it's definitely aged not so great as the time has gone on.
Which is why they're making a Brotherhood.
Which is why they are remaking it. I mean, that fixes that. That will probably fix my biggest problem with One Piece, which is not exactly the animation quality. That's more to do with the pacing.
Yeah, the pacing, bro.
The pacing of the anime is just fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Even with the increased animation quality in the later arcs, that still doesn't like change the fact that I feel like it goes way too slow.
It is crazy how I'm like halfway through One Piece, and I feel like I don't understand anything that One Piece fans reference ever. because I feel like people only reference the second 500 chapters.
Yeah,
like all of the important shit, from my understanding, happens in the second half. The first half, no one ever fucking talks about.
Well, I think it's more so just like at this point in the story, all the parts that make sense.
But like every single goddamn character I see, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Why is there a rabbit with tits? What is this? Who is this? And why is she everywhere?
That's true. Yeah. So, okay, do you think that do you think Demon Slayer would be as popular?
No.
Hell the fuck no.
No.
Hell the fuck no.
Do you think that Jujutsu Kaisen would be as popular without the animation quality?
I highly doubt it.
Yes, Connor?
I know Jujutsu Kaisen fans will disagree with me, but I think it's purely based on... Because whenever somebody talks about the latest episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, the first thing they say is, yo, that animation was nuts!
True.
And I'm like, okay, but what about the story, though?
Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of swag, though.
Yeah, because of the animation.
It does.
No, but it's Gojo and like the cast is just kind of swag.
Yeah, but that's character design and animation.
I'd say also character design.
Yeah.
Jujutsu
But
Kaisen.
I think it would still be
paired with the insane animation.
I think it would still do pretty decently, but I don't think it would be the kind of success that it sees right now.
So
Because I mean, I'm like chubbed up watching it.
Yeah, because
after
the animation.
Bro.
Yeah.
After watching season 2, especially the Shibuya arc, it was just like, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I'm like, maybe Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer are more similar than fans would like to admit.
Yes.
But Jujutsu Kaisen has like the rule of cool factor,
Yeah.
which is what Demon Slayer doesn't have.
Yeah.
You know? It is
I'm also just so invested in the Jujutsu Kaisen like meme-averse online.
Yeah.
It feels almost
Lobotomy Kaisen.
Yeah, well, I feel like legitimately like Jujutsu Kaisen is like the most memed thing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just being fed what I like.
No, I mean, I'm not even a fan of the show, and I love the fucking memes.
The memes are
great.
so good. I just fucking it's so good. Fucking I saw one the other day. It was like, this motherfucker had his career started against Kobe and LeBron, and it was the Firehead one because he only fights Sukuna and Gojo. And it was like, I don't know why that's funny. It's just like people are so good at turning like this stupid otherworldly nonsense into like somewhat like
real life
funny
stuff.
It's I don't know. It's fun.
No, it's. I remember I saw a thread about like every Jujutsu Kaisen character's win-loss ratio, and they had like a breakdown of how many. Like it was like a fucking UFC stats breakdown where they broke down like how many fights they've been in, how many wins they've had, how many losses, and how many draws they've had. And I'm like, let's just take away all like narrative importance
into sports betting on the next Jujutsu Kaisen fight.
I think they saw it. I think they probably already do that, you know.
Another example, actually, I want to give of this that I just remembered is the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War arc.
Yeah.
Like, I think it wouldn't have been as talked about, and I don't think Bleach fans would have been... Well, I know Bleach fans would have been inclined to watch it regardless, right? Because it's, new Bleach in 2020s. But, like, I think the average, like, anime watcher would not have been as reluctant or would not have been as, like, more inclined to watch the 1,000 Year Blood War arc if it wasn't for the fact that Bleach fans who were already going to watch it anyway were going, yeah, but the animation's fucking insane.
Which it is, but I don't know how popular the 1,000 Year Blood War arc is outside.
But I'm saying I think the really fantastic animation is the. I think it's the fact that the 1,000 Year Blood War arc had such insane animation is what got a lot of people to actually give it a try, and they otherwise wouldn't have.
But like, I wouldn't have given it a try if I hadn't spent so much time reading the manga.
Yeah, but that's because you're a Bleach fan.
Back in the day, you know, back in the day.
You and I are Bleach fans, so we were probably going to watch it regardless.
Were Bleach fans.
Were. Excuse
Put some respect on that word.
Excuse me. We were Bleach fans, right? So we were going to watch it regardless, just to see what it was like. Yeah. But I think for people, you know, especially in the new era, like anime fans, who maybe didn't grow up with Bleach like we did, they wouldn't have been inclined to watch it if they didn't see the animation was good.
I don't know if many people are, because the end people
I heard a lot of people who never watched the Bleach anime give it a go because they saw that the animation. How the fuck
would they know what's going on then?
Because they didn't care about the story; they just cared about the fights and animation.
Bro, this is like the climax arc that is built on everything that's happened. How the fuck do they know what's going on?
Dude, you assume there aren't brain dead anime fans out there, which there are a lot of.
That's the problem with this statement, Joey.
They just want to see pretty animation. That's all it is.
By the way, are you watching Frieren, Joey?
I am watching Frieren.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Frieren's great.
I'm watching Frieren.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm caught up on the manga as well, bro. It's
going
great.
up to... That just put a fucking tune-in exam arc in a place for like absolutely no reason. I'm going to search up like...
That arc is kind of long.
Good anime.
It is a bit long.
It's a bit long.
It's a bit long.
We're a little too comfortable with how long it is. I'm like, come on now. Speed it up now. Come on.
It's like,
come on, wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Like, I showed the Game Awards sign. Like, wrap it up. Come on, this arc's getting a little long now. Come on.
All right, I'm looking at. Let's see if there are any good anime with bad animation or average animation.
Part 3.
Saying bad animation is so subjective.
Average.
Right? Because
animation.
here's a question. This is one that gets thrown around a lot. Akunohana anime. Do you think that was bad animation?
No.
What is Akunohana?
The Flowers of Evil.
I didn't watch that one.
That's a very okay.
Do you think that was bad animation?
I think that was experimental animation.
I agree.
And I think it worked in some places and it didn't work in other places.
I agree. I think that a lot of people who tried to give Akunohana a go immediately saw that art style, immediately saw that animation, was like, this is shit animation.
Yeah, because it's ugly as fuck.
It is ugly as fuck,
Yeah.
but it's an ugly as fuck story as well, so it makes sense.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's like there's this one scene in Akunohana with like I think it's like episode 7 where they completely wreck this classroom, and I honestly think that fucking scene is like a cinematic masterpiece.
Oh, there's the slow motion wrecking.
The slow motion wrecking. That was like
I have
that
no
was
context for this shit, but it's fine.
It's amazing. The manga was like very, very like highly received.
Yeah.
Because Oshikiri Densuke is amazing. But the animation got a lot of flack because it completely deviated from the original manga art style.
Oh, shit.
Like they basically, as Gon said, it was very experimental. They used like rotoscoping animation.
Ooh.
So they used real life actors to play them out and then basically like draw over it. So it looks really strange. Like it looks unlike any anime you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I think it worked great for the story because it's a very realistically like rooted story.
Okay.
And the actors were pretty good, and like it looked different. It didn't look like anime, but I thought it was a really fucking cool show.
All right, so I'm gonna go through the top rated anime on my anime list and see how many of these shows
Have good animation.
have. Let's say how many of these shows don't have the bar of like really, really good animation.
Okay.
Is something else number 1?
Yeah,
It's
Frieren's
Frieren.
number 1. Frieren is still number 1. That definitely has banger animation.
That is great
All
animation.
right. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep.
Banger animation. Steins Gate. I still think.
I think the Steins Gate
it does what it needs to
animation was good for its time, but in retrospect, I think it's pretty average now.
I think it's good for its time, which is important, right, for the conversation.
okay,
Because especially that one scene where Okabe fucking freaks out and everything goes into like the pencil kind of like drawing style. That's
The
do you
sketch
remember that?
drawings. Yeah, I remember that.
And it was like
very Evangelion.
That's all I heard in my head during that scene. All right, Gintama, yeah, that has good animation.
Banger animation.
Yeah, Attack on Titan, yes,
Yeah, obviously.
fantastic. Hunter x Hunter,
that's pretty
yes.
average.
Yeah, pretty good.
Hunter x Hunter doesn't have average animation.
It's pretty average now.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
It's
okay,
pretty
so I
damn
can't
fucking
remember.
good.
The fight
Yeah.
scenes were pretty
I
fucking
mean, it's
good.
definitely good for its time.
I fucking love the show.
Yeah.
I don't remember the animation standing out much.
Yeah, but that's the kind of show where it's like you remember the story.
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
the
yeah,
animation.
yeah. But it still had good animation.
It had good animation.
Bleach, yes. Okay, Thunder Blood War. Probably the only one that's stands out to me from this is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is all the way down to...
Yeah, but
that's-
I think shows like Legend of the Galactic Heroes and Steins Gate, yes, as highly praised as they are over, the different eras of anime watchers, I think viewers today will have a harder time getting into shows like that because they're so used to the quality of animation of shows like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer.
Yeah, even something like Kaguya-sama, which is a romance anime, that has banger animation.
Yeah, it's great
So
animation.
what we've determined is yes.
Yes.
The more I go down, the
I'm
more
going to
I'm
change my answer from
the more
neutral
I'm
to
like,
strongly
yes,
agree.
yes.
All right, good.
All right.
We spent 9 hours on that one. Let's go to the next one.